All right, I've been asked to create some big arches above some double doors. They're going to sit outside. It's just a prop. And I could just use some trammel points and draw it and cut it out with a jigsaw, but I think there's a better way. So I'm going to cut these arches using Papa Bear router right here. So stick with me on this. Hi, my name is Bob, and I love my two-car garage. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of plywood the same width as the diameter of the bottom of my router right here. So that's about 6.5 inches. Now I'm going to mount my big router on this piece of wood on my 1/2-inch plywood here. I cut it 6 feet long. I only need a 4-foot radius, but I want a little bit of extra to play with. So I'm going to use right now my face plate off my big router for a template, drill some holes here, and mount my router to this piece of wood. There we go, router mounted to my big long board. Now I chose the smallest straight bit that I have, which is a 1/2-inch diameter, which is a pretty big diameter. So it's got to do a lot of cutting, and it's going to make a big wide kerf, but that's all I have. The larger diameter will hold on to the chuck in the router a little better, so it's okay. 1/2-inch diameter bit is going to go on the router. All right, now this is probably the safest way to do this, but it does work really well. I got my router mounted on this piece of wood right here, and I want to know exactly where that bit's going to drop through. So I'm just going to clamp my wood down, and I'm going to turn the router on, and I'm going to twist it. I'm going to turn it and bore it right through the wood, and that's going to tell me the exact location of where that bit's going to come through. I guess my disclaimer is, don't try this at home. But it does work really well. So on the other side of the board, I can know exactly where that bit's coming out. Now I'm going to measure down that way. The radius that I need, I'm going to measure from this side of the bit out 48 inches. Actually, I'm going to go 47 7/8 or 47 15/16, and I'm going to put a point down there. And I just made myself a big, giant compass with a cutter on the end of it. So now we're going to cut 2 pieces of plywood at once. Going to lay them perpendicular on this one sheet. We need 2 arches, and we need 2 sides for each arch. So I'm laying down 4 sheets of plywood edge to edge, and I'm going to put the pivot point right in the middle and just cut a big circle out of the whole thing. I'm drilling a hole right in the middle. All right, so here we go. Big, giant arches, 4 at a time. The inside radius is going to be 3 feet. So now I'm going to measure from the outside of that bit to my next pivot point, which is going to be at 36 inches from the outside of that bit. Now we're going to cut the inside radius. We gotta build our arch, so we're putting in these little spacer pieces right here. And this stuff right here is called wiggle wood. It's really cool. It wiggles and bends really nicely. We're gonna put this on the outside and the inside of our arch. Look at that. Woo! Wow. This wiggle wood is really cool stuff. Plus, it's just got a really cool name. And what you see behind me right here are two beautiful arches. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, in all labor there is profit. So whatever you do, do a good job. People are going to notice.